Wow, there are so many Bible versions to choose from these days. We are blessed in the English-speaking world with more Bible translations and versions than in any other language. That's the upside. The downside is that at times this abundance has also been a source of confusion. For example, a person hearing a sermon or attending a Bible class in the 21st century may become confused because the version that they're using reads slightly differently from the one being used by the leader. How did this situation come about? Well, with the growing influence of Puritanism in the late 1500s and the inheritance of the English throne by King James I, there was an intense desire for a standard English Bible to be used in all Protestant churches. King James commissioned this project in 1607 at the Hampton Court Conference with a panel of 50 scholars who worked on the translation for 4 years. This authorized version, more popularly known as the King James Bible, was published for use in 1611, and it became the standard for English use for the next 350 years. The King James Bible is a remarkable combination of quality translation, given the manuscripts available at the time, and an elegant English style. But toward the end of the 1800s, several Bible scholars and clergy began to sense that this authorized version was no longer adequate for several reasons. First, more recent discoveries of ancient manuscripts had added to the knowledge of the original language text, Greek and Hebrew. Along with this, English had changed dramatically since 1611, so that the English itself needed updating. These concerns led to the revised standard version of the 1880s, which was later updated in 1952. This version provided an accurate translation in an English that was much more understandable to English speakers of the time. Then, in the late 20th century, there was an explosion of English Bible translations. The New American Standard Bible, completed in 1971, was an attempt to translate the Bible into a distinctively American English. The result? While the English style has been accused of being a bit awkward, it's actually one of the more precise translations of the original Hebrew and Greek in the English language. Now, the Roman Catholics were not to be left out of this trend. Catholic Bible versions of the 20th century include the Douay Rheims Bible, the New Jerusalem Bible, and the New American Bible. There were some new approaches to translation that were made popular in the 20th century. These added to the mix of versions available. Now, rather than a closely literal approach, also known as word-for-word translation, many opted for a paraphrase of the text or a principle known by Bible scholars as dynamic equivalence. A better way to state dynamic equivalence for average people would be a thought-for-thought approach. Among these new approaches are the Living Bible in 1962, which is a paraphrase originally designed for children and set at around a third grade reading level. The Good News Bible, 1966, which is another paraphrase designed for people in the counterculture movement of the 1960s and 70s, and the New International Version, 1978, which is a thought-for-thought translation aimed at the entire English-speaking world. The English of the NIV, New International Version, is deliberately generic so as to be readable by British, American, Canadian, Australian, and all other English speakers. It has become one of the most widely used versions because of that simple, generic English and its accuracy of translation. Now, all of these translation efforts have used the reconstructed original language manuscripts of the Old and New Testaments in Hebrew and Greek. Since the turn of the 21st century, there have been several more popular translations. A couple of these other popular versions include the New English Bible, or NEB, which includes both Testaments as well as the Apocrypha. Generally, Protestants don't include the Apocrypha in their versions, although Roman Catholics and Eastern Orthodox Christians do. This NAB version uses the thought-for-thought approach. There are also revisions of older versions, such as the Contemporary English Version, or CEV, which is a sort of remake of the older Good News Bible, and it hovers somewhere between a thought-for-thought and a paraphrase in its approach. It also maintains a grade school reading level in an effort to reach a wider audience. The lower the reading level, the wider audience can be able to read it. The NKJV, New King James Version, is a remake of the original 1611 King James Version of the Bible, and it uses more recently discovered ancient manuscripts along with an updated English, while at the same time maintaining the elegance of the King James Version. The New Revised Standard Version is a gender-neutral update of the older Revised Standard Version. Gender-neutral just means that where consistent with the original languages, gender-neutral terms are used. So, for example, instead of using the word man for the whole human race, it uses humans or humankind. Other popular versions of the Bible include the Phillips New Testament in modern English, which is an expanded paraphrase dating from 1961, and the Message Bible by Eugene Peterson, which is a more recent paraphrase published in 1993. So, which Bible is best for you? Many people like to use a paraphrase or a thought-for-thought version for reading, while relying on a more word-for-word approach for study. The key factor, though, in choosing is what you intend to use the Bible version for. Is it for deeper personal study? If so, you want something on the word-for-word side like the New American Standard Bible. Is it for lighter daily reading? Well, then a thought-for-thought or paraphrase might work best. Another important factor is reading level. Paraphrases are generally easier to read than thought-for-thought or word-for-word translations. The New International Version is somewhere around the 7th grade reading level, which works very well for many people. The 1611 King James is old-fashioned and elegant, and its English would be on a 12th grade or even perhaps a college level for modern readers. So keep in mind that the reading level of the King James is pretty high. For day-to-day Bible study and reading, I personally do favor the New International Version as well for use in teaching and preaching. The New International Version provides a nice blend of thought-for-thought accuracy of translation with English understandability, and its reading level of 7th grade provides a wide audience that can easily read it. Now, for a fresh look at how the Bible comes across with impact for the modern reader, the Message Bible can be used to provide interesting insights into familiar passages because of its use of modern English vocabulary and expressions. On the other hand, stay away from offbeat, inaccurate, and agenda-driven translations. Maybe the best example of one to watch out for is the New World Translation of the Watchtower Society. No pun intended. Well, I guess I did intend it. Its translator seems to have already had an offbeat and many would consider heretical theology, which of course influenced his translation. The New World Translation is by the Jehovah's Witnesses. So, to sum all this up, maybe the best thing to do is to try sampling a few to find out which suits your needs. You can go online easily to BibleGateway.com to sample some of your favorite passages before you invest in a written copy. When you find the one that fits your reading comfort and study needs, you will reap many rewards as you open its treasures regularly. Thanks for watching. This is Michael Bogart. God bless.